Hello, hello. Okay, hello, hello, hello. We're gonna get started in about a minute or so. Um, how are you today? Today is what is today? Today is Friday, October 17th. And we are on the last stretch. Pretty excited. We'll get started in just a moment. Trying to send people their little reminder text. I think I got everybody. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, I need to send it to my mom. I forgot I need to send it to my mama, you guys. She hadn't been feeling good, so she may not join us tonight. All right, let's get started. Okay, I think I sent it to everybody that I needed to. Okay, and let me turn my ringer off. And we're all set. Okay, good evening. Good. Oh, hey, Danny, how are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you for popping in, as you say. I appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. Oh, how many? Oh, okay. Okay, we got it. Maybe I should wait for another 30 seconds or so. And then we're gonna get, oh yeah, no, it's 6:06. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I didn't realize it was 6:06. Okay. Thought I turned this off. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I just want to welcome you all back to day 5 of the Personal Vision and Mission Statement Challenge. Take a deep breath and take a bow. You did that. Whether you're here with me, live tuning in, or tuning into the replay, this moment is yours. You've shown up for yourself, you've reflected, okay? You've written, you've stretched, you've grown, and now you are here at the final day of this challenge. Not just with more clarity, but with momentum. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So today is all about integration, alignment, and completion. It's about honoring what you've created and stepping fully into who you're becoming. So take a moment to really let that in. You're not the same person who started this journey. Let's finish this. I remember there was a movie that I saw and it said, finish it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to finish it. So, first things first, as always, can you hear me okay? If you can hear me clearly, as you know, go and drop a 60 in the chat box so that I know that we're good to go as it relates to our sound. So let me check to see if I have my 6 zeros in the house. Okay, got my 6 zeros. Hey, Ike. Ike's in the house. All right, I got my 6 zeros. So you guys can hear me okay. Thank you so much for doing that. It helps me to make sure that we're all connected and flowing smoothly. So again, welcome to day 5. Okay. And I just want to say, this is more than the final stretch. It's a moment of becoming, as I stated earlier. You've done more than show up. You've dared to lean into your purpose, right? You've taken hold of your vision, you've clarified your mission, and resignated your motivation to move forward with intention and truth. This is not a small thing. This is transformation. You've given this work your energy, your honesty, your heart. And because of that, what you've built over these last few days isn't about statements. I know we wrote a lot of statements, but it's not about just the statements on paper. It's a declaration of who you are and what you're here to do, right? Because we talked about purpose. I think we talked about purpose during the 2-day workshop. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, okay, for allowing me to walk alongside you guys. Okay. This journey uh, has not only challenged me, it's changed me. And that's for real, for real. Okay. I've been deeply moved and I have truly benefited from the experience together with you guys on a personal level. So, as we close this chapter, do so with pride and a sense of accomplishment. This isn't the end, right? It's a launch. So, you're not the same person who began this journey, and this road ahead, it is wide open, and we can see it clearly. Let's finish this, as I said earlier. Today, we place brick 5. Let me see if I have any comments. I'm going to go into some quick housekeeping because today is pretty packed. Okay, so we don't have any comments. And if you have any comments to make, go ahead and put them in the chat pod at any time you want. So before we dive in today's final session, let's take a moment to settle in and make sure everything's in place for you to be fully present. This space is totally about you. Let it feel grounded. Let it feel focused. Let it feel like yours because it is yours. Here are just a few reminders to help everything flow smoothly. We want it to be smooth and calming. We don't want to feel pressure or rushed. Um, as we've said before, if you have a question, place a capital Q, okay, in front of your question and just drop it in the chat. I just want to remind everybody that all the replays for this challenge are available to you for a limited time. In fact, you'll find everything bundled in one easy to navigate playlist, and that playlist is entitled Personal Vision and Mission. Right now, it's titled Workshop. I think I'm going to change that from workshop to something else. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Both the videos from the free 2-day challenge are in the playlist, as well as the video how to prepare before you start. That's in the playlist. And of course, all 5 days of this full challenge will be in the playlist. So you can just go to the playlist if you want to go back and kind of revisit some things and just listen to it. Now, I think for the 2-day challenge, there are time codes. So if there is a section, a specific area that you want to revisit, you'll be able to do that by looking at the time codes, and the time codes are in the description box of each of the videos for the 2-day challenge. You just click on the time code and it'll take you right to where you want to go. I did not do that for that's a 2-day challenge, the 2-day workshop. I did not do that for the 5-day challenge. Okay. So if you've been watching on the replay, even if you're live with me, I'd love for you to leave a comment under each of the videos. I just want to remind you of that. Um, it can take it could be a takeaway, it could be a thought, or it could just be just an emoji, a thumb emoji. It really helps me to know that what's landing, and it lets others feel less alone in the process. It also lets YouTube know that, hey, folks are feeling the videos. Can you push them out? After today's session, I will be posting a poll under the community tab or under the tab. It says tab now. You can see it. Please take a moment to respond. Your feedback is a gift and it helps me to shape what comes next. Okay. Speaking of next, I am planning to host a follow-up check-in session on or around Friday, October the 24th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I believe that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is 9 p.m. No, that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 1 hour. And it will be a time for us to reconnect and reflect what's shifted and see how your mission and vision are taking shape in real life. So stay tuned for the details. And finally, the Personal and Vision Mission Statement Workbook for Black Women is available on Amazon if you're ready to go deeper and want a companion for your continued journey. It's there. And I will be trying to come out with one that's for you guys. You'll find the link in the chat, the pinned comments, in the video description, and right on the home page of this channel. The link is everywhere. You won't miss it. So that's it on the housekeeping. If you're good, let me know. I want you guys to finish this whole thing strong, okay? Let's go ahead and get into our next segment. Let me check the chat pod. If you're just joining us, please remember to put a thumbs up. All righty, you're just in time because we're getting ready to get started with our stuff, with our real stuff. So before we move in today's final stretch, let's just take a moment to connect. If you feel comfortable, only if you feel comfortable, drop a quick hello in the chat and let us know where you're joining from. And if you've been with us throughout the challenge, tell us what's shifted. You can put one word that comes to mind or resonates with you. Just share one insight or win you're carrying into this final day. That's if you feel comfortable. It's no pressure. If you're watching the replay, we still would love to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know how things have been going. Your words matter, and they might just encourage someone else who is also on a similar path or their own path. Okay. Let me look and see if we have any comments. All right. We good with the comments. Okay. Before we move on, go ahead and grab something to write with and your personal vision and mission workbook. If you have it, if you have a dedicated notebook or journal, whatever you're using, make sure you have it. And as always, I will be typing the prompt of the day in the chat. So you'll have it there to reference as well. And today is going to be a little different than what it has been for the past 4 days because we're wrapping things up. I just want to make sure that I give you some more tools to help you and to support your vision. So today's session will flow as follow. I'll start off with a focused teaching that that introduces another vision supporting concept. Okay. Then I'll share the prompt of the day. And this prompt of the day is really quick. It's not like 30, 40 minutes. It's maybe a minute, 30 seconds, which I'll also post in the chat so you can refer to it and write down whatever you need to do. And as we have done for the past 4 days, we'll move in the quiet time. Like I said, it's going to just be maybe a minute or two. Okay. So please feel free to quietly leave whenever you need to. Get up, take your breaks, drink your tea. I don't have my tea today. I need to have my niece or somebody make it for me. I didn't have time to, so you'll see me getting up making that. And if you don't complete everything that you wanted to complete today, feel free to just let me know you'd like to stay on. Okay. I will remain on the live stream for a full 60 minutes. So let's say that we finished all of the things we're going to talk about. You've completed the small prompts that I give you, and you want to just kind of like make up for some things that you did not get a chance to finish during days 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have questions that you want to ask me, feel free to do that. And I will let you know when that time is open. Okay. Okay. I believe I covered everything. And if I missed anything, please put it in the chat. If you're ready to go, drop a thumbs up emoji in the chat so we can go ahead and move through tonight's session. Oh, hi, baby. My daughter. Oh, I got my youngest is on the line. Hi, baby. She says, hi, mommy. And then my oldest is on the line. Hi, baby. Hi, both of you. You guys, it's something when you are doing courses or you're doing trainings and people in your family show up. It's really, really encouraging. I really, really am grateful to my family and my friends. And my family, that's not blood family, but they're heart family. We got Ike in the room. I say he's my Nigerian son that you know can't play dominoes, but we'll work that out. So I'm going to give a quick recap. On day 1, you drafted your personal vision statement for one goal area of your life. On day 2, you drafted your personal mission statement for one goal area of your life. Day 3, you created your personal motivation statement for one goal area of your life. And day 4, you created personal vision strategies. Guess for what? For one goal area of your life. So we spent our time focused. We didn't try to do 99 things at once. We spent the time trying to focus on one specific area. I shared with everyone earlier that the one goal area that I selected to work on through the duration of this 5-day challenge and beyond, because it doesn't end after the challenge, is health and wellness. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick reminder. Your vision is where you're going. Your mission is how you plan to get there. Your motivation is why it matters. Okay, your strategy is the actual movement, the choices, the actions, the steps that drive it forward. For example, last night we wrote some vision strategies. I mentioned to you that my one goal area was health and wellness. So one of the questions that we asked ourselves last night, so that would help us to create our vision strategies, is what is the one thing we can do within the next 24 hours to move towards making our goal a reality. And this is small goals because we talked about this is about progression and not perfection. So the one vision area or vision strategy I wrote down, something I can do within 24 hours, is to create a an activity plan, okay, an exercise plan, activity plan, or what have you for the coming week. And I did that. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. I did a few other things, but I did that. So I wanted to share that with you guys. If anybody else wants to share what they did within the past 24 hours to move towards their personal vision, feel free to put that in the chat pot. Let me look and see if we have any comments. Okay. Okay. Some people might be typing. I'll go ahead and while they're doing that. So over the last 4 days, we did some deep work identifying, as I mentioned earlier, our purpose, clarifying our vision, naming your mission, and connecting to the motivation behind it, all within one meaningful goal area. Okay, one. You even outlined, as I mentioned earlier, a strategy to bring that vision to life. And now we arrive at day 5. Today is about commitment, y'all. No pressure, not pressure, not perfection, just a clear personal yes to yourself, okay, and to the goal you've chosen to pursue. So, what does that look like? What does saying yes to your one goal area, that commitment, what does it look like? So, I'm going to talk about the power of signing your personal commitment or the power of signing your goals. Okay. Before we move into our next segment, I want to talk to you about something powerful, the simple act, the sacred act of signing and dating your commitment. And you can call that a commitment statement. You can call it in the workbook, it's called the commitment to myself. Okay. And again, this is not about pressure, it isn't about performance. This is about honoring yourself. Okay. This is not about me. It's not about your mom. It's not about your kids. It's not about your husband, your wife, your girlfriend. It's about you and the goal you have been brave enough to bring into light this week. There's something very transformative about turning uh, your intentions into words and then putting your name beside them. When you do that, something shifts. It becomes so real, so personal, so alive. And that's what happens when you write it down. We talked about writing down the goals as opposed to entering them in some type of word processor. Now, some people have to do that obviously for accessibility reasons and maybe, um, things like that. That's fine. But those of us who don't have to do that, there's something really, really powerful that we can glean from actually writing down our goals. I gave a study. I think her name was Gail Matthews. She did a study. I think it was Dominican University, where she found that people who write down their goals with pen and paper, hand to pen, they're 42%. They have a 42% chance of completing those goals. That's almost 50%. So that's amazing to me that just writing down the goal, you're 50% more likely to achieve that goal. Okay. So I want to give you a few benefits of writing down not just the goal, but signing your goals, which is what we're going to do tonight. You deepen your commitment. Okay. It's not just a thought floating in your head anymore. It's a decision, a declaration, a quiet, powerful yes to yourself. We sign contracts all the time. We sign contracts when we buy a house, when we buy a car, when we move into an apartment, when we start a job. We sign them all the time. So this is sort of like a personal contract to yourself, if you will. Okay. You create a sense of accountability to you when you sign your goals, okay? Not to the world, not to anyone watching again, but to the version of yourself that's already to grow, right? To stretch and to move on. It's the one that's saying, you know what, I'm ready to do something different. I'm ready to go somewhere else, be somewhere else. Okay. And sometimes we're not going somewhere else. Sometimes we're blooming where we're planted, but we are focusing on different plants in our garden, if you will, right? It helps you to gain clarity. Sometimes we think we know what we want, but when we write it out, we start to see what really matters. Writing clears the fog. So, of course, that's why we talked about how writing your goals down, it supports your goals, but it also supports your goals when you sign the commitment to yourself. You sharpen your focus. A written commitment becomes your compass, right? So when people are sailing in the sea, right? The I forgot what they call it, the ship people that guide the ship. Oh, the crew. Oh, I forgot. The captain. I'm just gonna say the captain. The captain and his team, they use a compass to direct them where they're going to be going in the sea, in the ocean, whatever. Okay. And this is what your written commitment does for you. It's a compass. When you are thinking about maybe doing something different, kids call it out of pocket, then you remember your commitment to yourself. You're like, oh, I can't do that. Not today, you know. And if you do it, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on task. It helps you to stay aligned when distractions try to pull you off track, right? And we see all these distractions. We have our phones, right? We have all kind of stuff, right? That are distractions. You reignite your motivation when your energy dips because it will. You will come to a time, some of us, where we'll say, forget this commitment. We might even tear it up. Okay. We might even cross out. You gonna get, we may get to a point where forget Colette. She just up there talking. Okay, where her commitment? So, we gonna get to situations where we're challenged on continuing our journey. You can return to your own words and remember why this matters to me. You can encourage yourself. There is a scripture in the Bible where it says that David encouraged himself. So your signed commitment is you, along with your motivation statement, encouraging yourself. And sometimes you're going to have to read it out loud. Okay. You begin to see the path. Writing invites invitation, it nudges you, okay, to consider what steps need to be taken and how it might begin, right? And I was trying to think of that quote, and it was the journey of 1,000 steps, I believe it is, begins with one step, or the journey of 1,000 miles, something like that. Whoever knows it, put it in the chat. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, with one step. Okay. Your one decision, I'm one decision, one action, one behavior from being a better version of me, if that's what I want to do. Okay. And you remember it. There's a real science behind this. When you write something down by hand, your brain holds on to it longer. It's more than writing. Okay. It's wiring. Okay. It's a brain wiring. So, no, it's not just an exercise, it's a turning point. In just a moment, I will walk you through how we're going to do this, whether you're using the personal vision and mission workbook or writing in your journal or notebook. Either way, I'll guide you through the language, place the statement in the chat, and give you time to make it your own. So let's move to this step together. So, as I mentioned earlier, our writing part is going to be really brief tonight because we're going to be, making some additional commitments to ourselves. All right. We've come to the part of our session where you're going to make it personal. Okay. This is today's prompt of the day, but it's more than that. It's a promise, not to me, not to anyone else, but to yourself. So here's what we're going to do. And you guys bear with me because I'm going to need to give instructions for those who have the workbook and for those who do not have the workbook. So what I'll do is I'll give instructions to those who do not have the workbook first. Okay. So for those who do not have the workbook, what you're going to do is you are going to, and hopefully this will fit in one. What you're going to do is you're going to turn to in your notebook, you're going to flip to a uh, fresh page, and right at the top of that page, my commitment to myself. My commitment to myself. And you're going to write the following statement. Okay, I'm going to have to break it down. So it's going to be in two parts, you guys. So let me do this. I should probably. So while I'm doing this, go ahead and write my commitment to myself. For those who do not have the workbook, who are using their notebook, for those who have the workbook, you can go ahead and turn to your goal area. Here's my goal area. And there is a statement at the bottom. This statement is what the individuals without a notebook are going to write this. So what the statement says and what you need to write on your fresh piece of paper, if you don't have the notebook, is today I am making a commitment to focus. And this says financial stability. I'm sorry, whatever your goal is. Okay. This says financial stability. I just copied something. So whatever your one goal area is, if it's professional development, if it's, whatever it is, instead of writing focus on my financial stability, write focus on whatever your goal is. Okay. By taking steps, big or small, to ensure that my personal vision becomes a reality. Further, I make a pledge to myself that I will never give up. Once you write that statement, take a moment. I encourage you to read it out loud, slowly and with intention. Let the word sink into your spirit. And when you're ready to sign and date it, let me know. So I'm going to give the folks who are writing the prompt time to write that. And for those of you who have the personal workbook, again, you're going to go to the one goal area that you selected. You're going to go down to the commitment statement. It says, my commitment to myself. You're going to read the statement, and your statement should say, my commitment on focus on my commitment to whatever you selected. It should already be in there for you. Okay. All righty. Take a deep breath, read the statement out loud. Then you want to sign it, and then you want to date it. So I will be reading the statement. I'm going to mute myself for a second, and I am going to be reading the statement to myself, and then I'm going to sign it and date it. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself briefly. Okay. So I've signed mine. You guys can't read my signature, but it's because it's a mess. I've signed mine. Okay. And I've dated it. Well, I gotta do opposite. Signed it and dated it. It's opposite on this screen. I got to do the opposite thing, and I'm right-handed, so I got to do the opposite of the opposite, which I guess would be right, the right way. Anyway, so if you're finished, go ahead and put a thumbs up so we can move on to the next segment. If anybody wants to share, how did it feel to say those words out loud and put your name on them? You're welcome to drop a word or emoji in the chat or just hold the feeling for yourself. No worries. But if you feel comfortable and you want to share, please feel free to do so. Okay. Let me look and see if I have any comments. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next segment. Now that you've made your commitment. Oh, first, does anybody need more time? Does anybody need more time? Are we all good? We wrote our commitment to our self statement. We've signed our commitment to our self statement. Okay, Yvonne. Oh, my baby. She said it felt affirmative. Oh, yeah, it does, right? That's a good word. Really nice to feel it resonate through me as I read it. Yes, yes, that's very good. And that was sort of the intention when I added it to the workbook because initially I don't think I had it in there, but I thought we need to put something in there that solidifies this commitment for ourselves to ourselves. And but yes, thank for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Anyone else want to share? Okay. So now that you've made your commitment, we're going to shift into our final topic of the challenge, reflections. Taking time to reflect helps you to absorb what you've learned. Notice how you've grown, recognize the small but powerful shifts that may have happened along the way. Okay, reflections is very powerful. Okay, it's time to move forward, but flexions helps you move forward with wisdom, right? You don't just want to move forward any kind of way. You want to move forward with precision, with intention. So next we'll explore some key benefits of assessing our progress through reflection. And I want to make sure that I make this clear. This is not about judging ourselves. This is about, it's sort of like a check in, hey, how am I doing? So let's talk about some steps. So taking the time to reflect on your progress isn't just a pause, it's a practice that brings power to your growth. Reflection helps you to become more aware of where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. It's the part where you say, am I there yet? It gives you space to notice your wins. You can look, oh, I did that, and learn from your challenges and say, okay, I need to work a little bit more in this area. It gives you space to reconnect with your deeper why and go, now, why was I doing this again? It's how you turn your experiences into insight and your insight into intention. I'm going to repeat that again. In fact, I'm going to put that in the chat. Reflections is let me get this. Reflection is how you turn your experiences into insight and insight into intention. Because we can all have insight, right? We can all have that. I'm trying to put this in here for you guys. But we want to go ahead and move forward in the thing, right? We want to have some forward movement, right? So that's where the intention is like, okay, I'm intentionally focusing this on this. So here are just a few benefits that make reflection so valuable. It builds self-awareness, obviously, right? It helps you to tune into patterns, to recognize your strengths and see where there's room to grow. Again, this is not about judgment. This is just about self awareness. Okay. So, for example, there's certain places I just can't go. There's this place in where I live. I was thinking about going today, even though I'm dealing with health and wellness. It's a soul food place called Dolls. I sure thought about it. I thought about going. I thought about going. And I said, oh, no, I don't want to have to put that down. Okay. That was a commitment to myself. And then I also have this person on my in my ear, my oldest daughter saying, "You know you don't need to do that, mommy." Now, sometimes my baby, she might say, "Go for it." So I'll call her. And but then sometimes she don't want to go for it. She'll say, "Okay, I'm going to talk to Chineri about it." She sells me out. Long story short, I didn't go to Dolls. I ate a salad. I ate a salad and the salad was good. Okay. I bought me some pineapples because honestly, I wanted to get something I had no business getting today, but I got my pineapples. Okay. It increases motivation. Looking back at your progress, even the small wins, can reignite your energy and belief in what's possible. It really does because you could look back and say, Look how far I've come. I was right here. You know, I was right here. There's this song, this gospel song. Um, I'm not where I want to be, right? Or the saying, it's a gospel saying or Christian saying. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. Okay. I am not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. That's a great, great motivator because it pushes us forth with momentum. It allows for course correction. Reflection gives you clarity to pivot when needed, helping you to stay aligned and not just busy. Sometimes we just do a lot of busy work, right? And that's the beauty of having our goals written down, our strategies written down, because we might be doing a lot of stuff. We might be busy, but are we productive in terms of um, helping us to producing a result that gets us closer to our goal? And this is not about, working, or no, this is not about that. This is about focusing. We are aware that we have a certain goal for a certain area of our lives for our benefit and for the benefit of whoever is our tribe, depending on what your goal area is, right? Mine is a personal goal area. Mine is has to do with health and wellness. Even though I am my tribe, so are my children, my parents, my nieces and nephews, the people who love me. Okay. So they are a part of my tribe. If you're doing it for, let's say you have a goal to be a teacher. I mean, I used that before. Your tribe is going to be the children, the children's parents, right? The para educators, and what have you. So it helps you to stay on track. I might have said this one. It helps you to stay on track. When you regularly check in with yourself, your goals stay in front and center, not lost in the noise of daily life, because life be lifing, right? We get so busy of things that we need to get done. I'm busy and I'm retired. Okay. I'm retired and I'm still busy. Now, the difference is if I don't want to do it, I just say I ain't doing that. Okay. I do. I just say I'm not going to do it. But the truth of the matter, some things we need to do if we want to make those steps, right? So it helps to stay on track. And I want to say something too about being tired. I know for me, a lot of times I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and a lot of that has to do with doing busy work, stuff that don't even really have a focus. Why am I doing this? How does it play in the bigger part of things, right? So it encourages gratitude. Reflections gives us a chance to pause and appreciate your journey, my journey, our journey. Okay. It's not about just the outcomes, but the growth along the way. So let's say that your outcome is one thing and you do your reflections and you see you haven't quite gotten to where the goal that you wrote, you haven't gotten there yet. And you look and you say, okay, I haven't gotten there, but I've gotten some growth. I didn't used to do this, but I'm doing this. All right. So it's really, really powerful reflections. It develops emotional intelligence. Reflections support your ability to respond with awareness and emotional clarity. Okay. Strengthening how you show up in every area of your life. So even when you're doing the reflections for the one goal area of your life, just uh, the awareness and the emotional uh, intelligence the emotional intelligence muscle that you are building, that emotional intelligence muscle, okay, that awareness, it is not contained to one area of your life. It shows up in other areas, right? And you will notice a difference. There was a time when I was a little bit more disciplined than a lot more disciplined than what I am now, and that showed up in other areas of my life. And even though we're not talking about discipline, um, discipline a is connected to emotional intelligence, right? Because we're aware of what we need to do, how we need to do it, how long we need to do it, and we are aware of why we're doing it. And we're also aware why we're not doing it. Okay. It also improves performance. People who reflect regularly don't just move faster, they move with focus, direction, and purpose. And that's what I talked about earlier. We're not just here and there and just doing that stuff that's being busy all over the place. No, we're moving with intention. Back in the day, we used to say, "I'm on a mission." You'll see people walking and say, "Hi, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm fine, good." "Oh yeah, I'm on a mission." That means I don't have time to be fooling around. Not that you know, not having a good time. You're just focused. And sometimes we just need to get our focus on. Reflection isn't a one-time task. It's a lifelong tool. Okay? And today we'll use it to take in everything that this challenge has helped you uncover and everything that you're stepping into next. So now that we've talked about the power of reflection, let's walk through how to build it into our process over time. So again, I'm going to explain this for two different ways, for the people who have the workbook and for the people who don't have the workbook. So for the people who do have the workbook, I'm going to walk through it and you guys can follow along with me, the ones who don't have the workbook. I'm going to show you what you're going to go. If you have a workbook, you're going to turn to the goal area that you selected. And on the back page, you'll see some prompts. Okay. And the first prompt will say, let me see if you could see this. It will say 7 days. What is wrong with I don't know what my mouse doing. Oh, there it is. I don't know why. Okay. So it'll say, and put it like that. 7 days. So I'm going to put the prompts for each one in the chat. So one says 7 days and they're all dated. You notice there's a space to write your reflection. One says 30 days and it's a space to write your reflection. One says 60 days. So today is not the 7 day, right? We just starting to do this. So we just finished. So let me put it in the prompt for those who are writing with a notebook. So again, you're going to get a new sheet of paper and you're going to write the prompts. You're going to write at the top of that new sheet of paper, reflections. And I will put this in the chat for you so you don't have to try to memorize it. Where'd my chat? Where'd it go? This is what I meant when I said that I thought I did this another way. I guess I didn't. Boy, I thought I did this another way. I bet you I did, and I'm going to find it after we're done here. Okay. So I'm going to put in the chat for those who don't have the workbook. So and I'm sorry the lines are off. So you have the 7-day reflections. You have the 30-day reflection, and it's supposed to say, 7-day reflections and then an area for the date, because you want to date it every time you write a reflection. That's what the whole goal is. You want to date every time you have a reflection. Then you're going to write an area in your paper on your notebook for 30-day reflection. Then you're going to write a place in your workbook for a 60-day reflection. If you have the workbook, it's already there for you. There's a dedicated space for it. And then you're going to have a place where you write, let me see if I could put all these on here together. 6-month reflection, let me see. 9-month reflection and 12-month reflection. And you can do your reflections the way you want. You can add more if you want. So again, let me just show this. Let me turn another page. I don't show all my. So you have your 7-day reflection, and you have the date, and then you have right under that a place to write your reflection in. Next, you have your 30-day reflection, and you have a date written. Then you have your 60-day reflection. Then you have a date written. Then you have your 90-day reflection. Boy, this is weird. I'm left-handed, so you know what? Let me try to do this with my right hand. Maybe this I'll be able to hold it. I'm left-handed, so it's weird. And then you have your 60-day, your 90-day, your I think it's 6 months, 9 months, and then a year, 12 months. Okay. Okay, so we're not going to fill out the reflections today. So 7 days would be next Friday. That's when you're going to do your first one. Well, no, that's not true, because we're going to do one tonight. But so if there's any questions, let me know. I do want to give the people who don't have the notebook time to write it down. I do want to remind you that these are general checkpoints, not deadlines. They're invitations to come back, reflect, and realign with your purpose. Okay? So hopefully, are you all finished writing it down? For those who are working with a notebook, if you can put a thumbs up so I can go on, that would be great. And I need you to put a thumbs up to let me know, okay, are you getting this stuff down? Or do you have a workbook? You might have a workbook. Okay, so let's move to the next section. And you guys, we're probably going to get out of here right at 7. So whether you're using the workbook or the notebook, you're going to take a minute to reflect together on this challenge and experience. If you have the workbook, go ahead and turn to the notes area. The one goal area that you selected. Remember, you have notes. So turn to one of those pages. Okay, it could be a new page or another page. Turn to the notes area for the one goal area that you selected. If you're using a notebook or a journal, you can write your answers on a new page. So our last prompt of the day is, I invite you to answer the following questions. And let me copy those into the chat pot real quick. That's okay. I'm just messing with you. That's okay. So, the first question that we're going to ask ourselves today, because we're going to do a reflection. Okay. And so it's kind of like maybe a 3-day reflection. What surprised you? What shifted for you? And you're writing this down. And what are you walking away with? So, our last prompt of the day is what surprised you? What shifted for you? What are you walking away with? And I've already placed the questions in the chat. Now, this is not an essay, a thesis, or dissertation, just a few honest sentences. This is a moment to acknowledge your growth, your effort, and your presence. Let's take a minute now to write, reflect, and breathe it in. And we're going to end. And you can actually, I think I'm going to give like about a minute, 30 seconds, and the rest of it you can write, afterwards. Okay. That's my stomach. I'm going to write mine afterwards. Okay. So if anybody wants to share, go ahead and share. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay. So nobody's sharing. Okay. Is everybody finished? I think everybody's finished. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and move on. So we're going to, I just want to say, wow. Just wow. Take a deep breath and feel this moment, the courage, the commitment, and the clarity you've built over the past 5 days. You showed up for yourself, you did the work, you faced the questions that mattered, okay? You uncovered your truth and made a powerful commitment to your personal vision, your personal vision. This isn't just a challenge you've completed, it's the beginning of a very new chapter, one where you walk boldly toward your goal with purpose and passion. Remember, this journey is yours, authentic, unapologetic, and real. There will be days when it feels effortless and days when it feels tough. That's all part of the process, right? Because what do we say? Progression, not perfection. But here's the truth that I want you to carry with you. You already have everything you need to succeed. Your vision is clear, your mission is strong, your motivation is alive, and your commitment unshakable. Now it's time to own it. Own your story, own your power, own your goals. Step forward knowing you are supported, you are capable, and you are unstoppable. I am so proud of each and every one of you for showing up, for leaning in, and for daring to dream and do differently. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm deeply grateful for you allowing me to make one of my own goals a reality by bringing this once in person only experience, which is this workshop, to life virtually. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Keep this momentum alive, keep this fire alive, and just when you need a reminder, come back here, revisit your commitment, reflect on your progress, and know that you belong to a community of warriors who believe in you. This is your time. This is your journey. This is your life. And there's this part in the Bible that says, you were created for such a time as this. It's in Esther. Go out there and live it. Live your purpose authentically and unapologetically. I can't wait to see what you create next. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you. It's been an honor and a complete joy. Let's keep moving together. Before we close out, I want to invite you to stay connected. If this journey has moved you even the smallest way, please drop a comment in the comments section of this video after it's done. Share your wins if you feel comfortable, your feelings, or even just an emoji. Okay? Your words inspire not only me, but the entire community, and it helps support this space here on YouTube. Also, you like the segment before this challenge, let me know um, if you are feeling anything for the folks who are watching the replay. And don't forget, there's a quick poll waiting for you in the post. So when you go out of the video, you will see a post on my homepage. Click on that post and you'll see a poll. Just take a few seconds to share your feedback. It will help me to continue to create experiences that truly serve you and help you grow. This is more than a challenge, it's a movement, and you are an essential part of it. Thank you again for showing up with your whole heart. Okay? Now go live your vision, honor your mission, fuel your motivation, and keep your commitment strong. You've got this. But more importantly, God got you. I'm going to repeat that again. You've got this, but more importantly, God's got you. Until next time, keep shining, keep striving, keep being unapologetically you. Okay? I appreciate you. And so I'm going to sign. I'm going to see if I have any comments, and then I'm going to sign out. Chaneri said, it surprised her how quickly she was able to implement the strategies. Oh, that's not Chaneri. Oh, that's Ifani. Okay, so Ifani is writing for Chaneri. Okay, so Ifani said, Chaneri said, see, we do the 2 for the, this is what somebody said. Chaneri said, it surprised her how quickly she was able to implement the strategies. Yes, and that's how it's designed. That's why I say do one thing, because when we do one thing, we can focus a little better as opposed to doing 3 and 4 things. Just do one thing, do it for a while, 30 days, then add something different. Okay. Any other comments or questions before we close out? So I want to thank you guys for joining. Ike, thank you so much for showing up every day. Ike was like, I'm in the house. He don't care about that note saying that this is for Black women. He like, I'm going to be here. And that's fine. I love it. I absolutely love it. Chaneri, thank you for showing up. Ifani, thank you for being here, baby. And I will talk to you all soon. Again, it's been a joy and it's been a pleasure. And I just want to thank you so, so much for this. All right. And we'll have the follow up next Friday. If you're interested, show up. It's not required. I just want to do a check in, and it aligns with the first 7-day reflection. Okay. Talk soon. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Don't forget to do your comment and take the poll, you guys.